Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Well, as you all know, my name is Tessie, and you can see the strange guy. I know you guys don't know him. Just introduce yourself.
Right. Hi, everyone. My name is Jeremiah Ajayi.
So, what do you do?
I'm a software engineer. I write code for a living.
Jeremiah is a software engineer, and I've actually listened to him share his story with me before when I was in Nigeria. And somehow, I was motivated about his story, and I just felt like it's worth sharing out there. So I tried to invite him to my channel to share his story to everyone. So, Jeremiah, how did you start your coding career, your software, what did you call it?
Software development.
Yeah, how did you start the journey?
So basically, 2017, I knew I wanted to work with computers. Basically, I knew I always had this love for computers. So I came across programming through there's this chat app that is called To Go that was quite popular
Oh,
back in
okay.
the 2015 era, I think. So I came across some guys on To Go that they mod applications. So basically, they do some sort of modifications to their To Go applications. They customize it of some sort. So I that sparked my interest. I wanted to do something like that, which I sort of learned, and I was able to do that on my mobile phone. So after that, after I got to that stage, I felt okay. I've gotten to the peak of modding applications. Then I basically wanted more. So I noticed some of those guys actually have websites. So I was like, okay, I want to go to the next level and build websites basically. So I asked one of them a question. I can't remember his name. I asked, so he was like, okay, go to w3schools.com, learn HTML and CSS, which I sort of did. Though at that moment, I did not really have a PC, but I just felt, yeah, I still want to do this. So I just went to W3 school. I bought a notebook and got a pen, which I obviously have. Then so I just tried to learn. Then I write it down, basically write down, copy some of the tutorials on the web pages, write them back on my notebook, then pick up my phone, then try to write. So there was this platform called Wapka that allows you host free websites. There was Wapka and there was
Oh, okay.
XTGME. I can't remember the website correctly. So I used to use those platforms. So I write my code on their online editors. Then you can host your website of some sort. So that was pretty much how I basically got started with
Wait,
programming
sorry,
software.
sorry to cut you short. You said you used to write the code in a paper.
Yeah.
Then how do you run it?
So when
With your
I
phone?
first of all write them on paper, then I then type. So basically, I had this very bad phone. It was a J2ME phone, so it wasn't like an Android phone that allowed you to select and copy. So I did not have that copy and paste option on my phone. So I just have to manually write what I see on my phone. Like that was on the tutorials, basically. I need to write them out back, then pick my phone and type what I wrote out back on my phone, then
Wow.
run it on the online editors. Most times my phone actually goes off midway, or probably when I'm halfway writing
Wow. Oh
a couple
no.
hundred lines of code. So yeah, it did suck. So basically, it's not like I had some sort of deep understanding because there's actually limits to what you can do from your phone, but it pretty much got me started and sparked some sort of interest in programming. Then I got pushed to always steal my dad's laptop because he never allowed me near his laptop. So I used to probably watch or look for times when I feel okay, he's not around or he's probably asleep. And I steal his laptop for about 5 minutes, write a couple lines of code, then keep it back in a perfect way.
Wow.
He dropped it so he doesn't notice I stole the
Wow.
laptop. So yeah, I did that for a
Wow.
while. Then along the line, he figured out that okay, probably this guy. He had no option because he had talked and talked and talked and talked and talked, and I keep doing the same thing. So he just gave up basically and just give me access, which enabled me learn different
Did he
other things
dash you
that
the
I want.
laptop or he just gave you access to it?
So not really dash, he just gave me access to it temporarily of some
Okay.
sort, which I used. Yeah, but still with the laptop, it wasn't so much of an easy journey because the laptop was not a very powerful one or one that had some sort of powerful battery. So what made it quite difficult, even with the laptop, also was the fact that we just moved to a new site. We did not have electricity, So the only electricity we had was through our generator, which we only put on at night. So what I did
Okay.
was during the day, I still read articles or read books on my phone, still write down code on paper. Then I only have 2 hours window because we put on the gen around 8 p.m. to probably 10 p.m. Then we put it off. So I have 2 hours window to write code on my laptop that I have access to just for 2 hours. So to maximize the limited time I have, I would make sure I've done my research during the day, written down some codes on paper during the day. Then at night, I just try to maximize that 2 hours I have because I know, okay, that's the only time I have during the day. And I try to make full use of those 2 hours I have each day. So, yeah.
When did you now later get a laptop of your own?
Before I got a laptop, I think I used my dad's laptop for about 2 years. So before I
Wow,
got a
2 years.
laptop, I actually
Wait,
lost
sorry.
that.
Within those 2 years, were you done with your learning process and everything, or you are still learning during those 2 years?
Yeah, learning never stops when in the software world. So I was basically still learning. It's not like I did not have so much experience or whatsoever, but I just kept learning because it's not like I had some sort of experience. I just kept learning different random stuff. So it's not like I did not
Okay.
really have a focus on what I wanted to do exactly. So before I got my laptop, I actually lost my dad's laptop. So I did my internship.
Ah, you lost that laptop.
Yeah, it's a quite
Ow.
interesting story. So we had this video in church. Before we got back from church, our house got boggled. So my laptop, my
Oh.
phones, like basically all the phones in the house actually were stolen. So
And your dad's laptop too.
which I was using. So I basically gave up on coding. I was like, okay, this is it. I'm going back to school because I was determined to.
Oh.
I wanted to focus on programming basically, then get a job, then attend school part time. So when I lost my laptop, I just gave up. I was like, okay, this is it. Because literally no one was going to get me a laptop. My dad would definitely not get me another laptop. So I was like, okay, this is the end of the road. It was
Yeah.
fun while it lasted. Then I decided to visit my grandma, which I've not seen in a very long time. Then I stayed with her for a couple of weeks. Then I explained to her my situation of things and how I believed I could get a job, a programming job that could set me up basically, and I could just get a part time, like school part time,
At
get
that
a job.
point, at that point, have you started making money from programming?
I've never made any money from programming. I think the most money I made was $800, which is around $1.50, if I remember correctly, at this moment.
You
I think that
said
was the most.
$800.
No, $1.05, I think, which was the most. That's 800 naira, basically, which
Oh, you said
was
eight
the
hundred
most.
dollars. I was wondering. Oh, 800 naira.
800 naira. So, which was the
Eight
most
hundred
money I've
naira.
ever made.
For what? Who gave you 800 naira?
The money I was supposed to make from working with Timbu.com, I could not get paid because all the work I worked for about a month, I could not show for it because
Oh,
it's basically like I didn't work because I don't have the codes I've
they were
written.
on the stolen laptop.
Exactly, which was a very big rookie mistake. So at that point,
Mm.
I've not made any reasonable money from programming. So my parents at that point were no one actually believed, just felt I was wasting my time
Believe.
because the Nigerian parent sort of thing, you're always on your phone, means you're wasting your life and some sort. So I was able to convince my grandma, which I didn't really take much of convincing. So I just spoke with her and she was like, okay, since you believe in this thing you actually want to do, she gave me around 20,000 naira, I think, which is around less than $50 right now. So she gave me around 20,000 naira. Then called my dad and was like, she doesn't want to know where he wants to get the remaining balance. If he wants to steal it, she does not fucking care. But he has to get a balance to balance that money to get me a laptop to do whatever I want to do.
Wow.
So yeah,
So
my
she called
dad
your dad to balance the money for you and then get your
exactly.
laptop.
Yeah. So I think my dad added another. Okay, so I think I got 10,000 naira somewhere. I can't remember. I got 10,000 naira. Then I think my dad added another 10,000 naira. I basically got a laptop around 30,000 naira to 40,000 naira range. I think a very
Mm.
manageable PC. Did not have a great
That's
battery at
around
first.
$80.
Yeah, around $80 ish. I think. So
Yeah.
it still did not have a good battery, but at least I have a laptop.
Yeah, because the laptop of 40,000 naira, what do you expect?
Yeah. So I got back to writing code. I started back,
Okay.
started writing code. Then when I intended with at hotels.ng, I met a couple people. which I met. There's this man I met, Mr. Ephraim, which we don't talk so much now, but he was a very big help. So he got this freelance job of some sort. So he could not do it because he had a full-time job as a software engineer. So he just spoke to me like, dude, there's this job available. It's more like a 2 weeks contract, but would you like to take it? I was like, nah, I don't think I would want to do this because it was a full stack. Yeah, it was a full stack job, which involved me writing both front end and back end, like writing the visible parts of the web pages and the back end, which the user is going to see. So I'm more of a back end person. I don't like interacting with the front end. Yeah. So I was like, no, I don't think I want to do this. It was like, dude, I've seen you work. I've seen the things you could do, and I believe you could actually do this. I was like, I'm not sure. I don't think I want to do this.
But were you not happy that finally you got a job that would pay you?
I did not. No, it's not like the job was ready. He was just trying to recommend me for the job. So it's not like I got the job already. Okay. So I was like, I don't think I want to do this. But I later thought about it like, man, this is the first time anyone is offering to pay me to do something. Am I fucking dumb? So I later talked to him. I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. So he linked me up with the person that wanted me to do the job. So the person was like, okay, can you come to... The person sort of interviewed me. He realized I had no experience, and he was like, he's not sure he could hire me because I basically had no experience whatsoever apart from the internship I did. But this Mr. Ephraim was able to convince this person that he has seen me work, he has seen me do a couple of things, so he's sure I could get the job done. So the man invited me to come to Lekki. So at that time, I lived in Badagry with my parents, so I had to go down to Lekki phase 1. My dad gave me 1,000 naira to go from Badagry down to Lekki, which is quite a lot. So some way, to cut the story short, I managed to get down to Lekki. Then the man gave me the job. He didn't even do I thought I was going for an interview actually. Then the man was like, okay, can you get started today? I was like, sure. And it was like, okay, would you want me to give you some sort of advance? Because when I got to that point, I think I was left with 100 naira. I think if I remember, probably 200 naira, 100 naira. So I did not know.
There's no way I just transport yourself back home.
Literally no way I was going to get home that day. I just kept hoping, like, okay, whatsoever. I don't know. I know I would not sleep under the bridge that day, but I would get home somewhere. Even if it's to take the man that I came to interview with to help me with transport, I would just do something. So I was like, okay, can I get started today? I was like, sure. And he was like, would I like to get some advance? I was like, definitely, I would love to get some advance. Then he was like, okay, where do I live? I told him where I lived. He was like, okay, he wanted me to be in the office every day for the period of the project. So there was no possible way I could go to Badagry and transport myself daily from Badagry to Lekki every day. It was like, do you have any friends around? I had no friend living in Lekki. So he got me an hostel that was around Aja, which was not so far from Lekki. So he paid for the hostel. Then I had to move to the hostel. Then that night, he sent me 50,000 naira. Yeah, that same day, he sent me 50,000 naira, which was the most money I've ever seen in my life. I was so happy. Like, I was literally so happy because things were finally falling into place. I finally made, and that was, I think, 3 months from when my grandma.
First money.
Exactly, from what you've always money I made. So, yeah, I think, yeah, even though I did not get.
When you told your dad, how did it feel?
When I got paid, they were happy, and I was able to send them money that same night, which was, I think, the proudest moment of my life.
So after that, then what did you do next?
So after the contract, which was around 2 to 3 weeks, I basically exhausted the money, which was around, I think, 200K. I think the total money I worked was around 200K.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I basically, I had to get a new phone. I had to do some couple of things because I did not really have a phone. My phone was very, very bad. So,
the total money they paid was 200K.
Yeah.
How long did it take for you to execute the job?
I got it done in about 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah. Though I know along the line, I did some incremental bug fixes. It basically took 2 to 3 weeks to get the working version of the app working. Yeah. Okay. So when I was done with that, I was basically exhausted the money. I think I was left with probably around 50K. So I had to start looking for a new job because so someone recommended me for an internship in Surulere. So that was supposed to pay me 60,000 naira every month. I was super excited, like, okay, things are finally falling into place. Like, okay, this is it. I was so happy. And I told my dad, okay, I got a job for 60,000 naira. I was like, okay, where is the job at? I said, Surulere. Then he explained, he sat me down. I was like, I don't think it's reasonable for you to take this job, because he explained, I was pissed at first, like, why the fuck were you asking us to take this job? This is
Yeah, like you should be
60,000
asking for
naira.
me.
60,000 naira is a very, very big, like, it's something very big. For my age at that time, 60,000 naira was very,
Yeah,
very
because
big.
you just finished secondary school and all of that.
Exactly. So I later saw reasons with him, because obviously it's living in Surulere on 60,000 naira, even though I know they were going to house me, but I have to come home every weekend, transportation and feeding, which is not cheap. So I saw reasons to it, and I had to reject the offer, sadly. Then I came across, I just started job hunting, applying, just shooting random shots. And I came across Bonnie Studio. I saw the full stack role. I said, I don't want to do full stack, which I always dread because I have to do front end. I ignored the full stack role. I went to apply for a senior backend developer role, which requires 5 years of experience and more. I went to apply for that, knowing I was not qualified, and I knew I was to get rejected, obviously. I was just shooting random shots, so it does not look like I was not making any effort. So I got rejected, obviously, but the person who was in charge of hiring sent me an email, was like, okay, you're not qualified for the back-end role, but you seem qualified for the full stack role. If you would like to give it a shot. I ignored the message. I was like, nah, I'm not doing full stack again. No, I don't want to do this. I want to do back. I want to do strictly back-end. Then I sat down. I thought to myself, dude, you just survived a full stack role, which you did pretty well. It's not bad if you give this a shot. Even if it doesn't work well, just give it a shot. I was like, okay. Then I responded to her. Then she got back to me with a test. I think she sent me back a test. Then I started working on the test. I worked from around 11 p.m. down till I think 12 p.m. the following day before I sent the test.
Wow.
Then a couple of days later, I did the interview. I did 3 interviews in one day. I did not get a reply because it was festive period during December. I did not get a reply. January, I still did not get a reply. I was already panicking. I initially did not want the job, but along the line, I started like, yeah, I was so anxious. I did not get a reply, did not get a response, nothing. So I think I sent a message. They were like, okay, there was some internal stuff going on. They were trying to get budget approved for the role and stuff. I just gave up. I was like, okay, this is it. I will just apply for some other jobs. Now this is not going to come true. Then I think I got an email, I think 3 weeks later, that was like, they want to schedule a meeting with me and stuff. I was like, okay, what's this about? Then I got the role. I was so excited. I was literally jumping. I could not eat for about 3 days. Like I lost appetite for 3 days because this was my first
Bonnie Studio is a US
job.
company, right?
Yeah, it's a US company. So my first US job, my first full-time job happened to be an international company, which is a big deal. So I was so excited. I lost appetite for days. Like I could not eat because I was already feeling like, no, this is too much.
I'm not going to tell you to tell us the exact amount they started with, but just give us a range of what they were paying you.
It's around 35K to 50K USD. Let's just keep it around that range.
I'm happy for you. Like I'm happy that you worked very, 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 very hard for it. Like you know what you went through and all of that. So I'm just so glad that you're happy doing what you're doing, right?
Yeah, I guess I complain occasionally, but yeah.
I know you're happy enjoying what you're doing, definitely. But it's really nice. Like your story is so inspiring. Okay, so guys, you can follow Jerry on his Twitter handle and Instagram. I'm going to drop it on the video. Thank you very much for sharing your story with us. It's so nice to have you here. So thank you guys also for watching my video. I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye.
Please subscribe. All right.
Thank you. Hey, yeah, please subscribe. Share my video. Share this video. And then like the video. Yep. Bye, guys.